Hello everyone, Rare Mod Reviews here. We got ourselves an unboxing, if I'm not mistaken, from the USA Gundam store per standard. So getting straight on into it here. Not gonna beat around the bush. We have the high grade Gquux Zaku 2. Or I guess it just says Zaku. I'm not sure if they even had a Zaku 2 in Gquux, but nonetheless. So I really enjoyed a lot of the designs from Gquux. They looked very different, but still reminiscent of a lot of the UC stuff. So I opted to get just the normal Zaku because I have the sneaking suspicion if this line, or rather show, were to get any 1 of 100 series stuff, they'd probably end up doing Char's Zaku anyway. So I'm kind of holding out for the chance that that may happen. I also don't have enough grunt suits, so there you go. But this, of course, was made in 2025. It's also, as you can see here, the option for you to do a commander or a grunt head for the Zaku. So very cool when you do stuff like that. Looks like it's going to have some nice movement and gimmicks for the legs and what have you. The standard gimmick for the mono eye to move that back and forth. Good range of accessories, just about everything you'd honestly expect to see on the Zaku. Even it looked like I'll go back to that. Looks like there's a cracker too, so that's cool. That I can say you don't always see on the high grade, at least, the cracker. Sometimes you'll see one in like the master grade stuff, but yeah. That's, of course, it unpainted, so it still looks pretty damn good if you ask me. A little bit of a backstory here on, looks like just a serious, not so much the mobile suit. I mean, this is Zaku. Is there anything to really say about it? Also, that's new. You don't really see sideways image of it there. That's pretty cool. And there's, of course, the one horizontal. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. See what's inside. So we, of course, have that olive green here making up for most of the body. Not really to write home about. This must be the A runner. Yep. It's got some blacks there mixed with the olive green and a bit of darker green to it as well. Got the plate here. Looks like all of this is going to be for the bazooka and the machine gun, or one plate there. And then we have a final run here for the rest. It looks like more so joints, hands, and whatnot. Then we got a sticker style decal for everything. Interesting. They have an actual sticker to use a decal, so pretty cool. So I've already went over this thing multiple times. Builder's Notes, basically a website for Gunpla fans, and you can even snap pictures of your Gunpla and make like a image of it. So that's something that I definitely want to take advantage of. Maybe I can make some cover arts for my reviews and what have you. So again, just going over the Gquux Zaku. Thing looks super dark here, almost look black. One of the pilots there, so that's going to be Denim. Just one of the cool things. Denim survived the 1-year war, it seems like. Then again, they didn't show him after, so maybe he didn't, but it's still cool to at least see that he survived the fight at the side 7, because of course Amr wasn't going against him and all that. But there's just some background on Denim. The show itself looks like it's a bit more detailed than what we see on the side of box, but very cool line art. Love the way that looks. So going into the menu itself is, of course, just the instructions on how to build a kit. Obviously, if you know how to build one, you're not going to even glance at that. Head construction very fast, done in like 5 steps. Body a little more intricate. Should I've seen? Nope, never mind. I was about to say I've seen master grades that it took longer to build on, but or just as long, if not shorter. But no, it's pretty quick. So we have the arms as per standard. The arms is a bit different, as you have one with the spike, one with the shield on it. But overall, just look at this stuff. Very modern, very quick. It's about what I expect from a modern manual. So nothing to complain about, but at the same time, nothing to rant or rave about. Like I said a million times, the only thing they could do at this point to elevate the whole menu experience here is just straight up make it so whatchamacallit, the entire manual is in color. But besides that, it looks like also what recommends an action base 7 to put this thing up in the air. I think we've gone all the way up to an action base 8 now. They make a new action base every year. It's hard to even keep up. So it looks like that's everything from inside the menu. So we're, of course, going to end it off with the back of it here, just showing off all the weapons, color guide, showing off some of the cool poses you give. And that's going to do it for the Gquux. So, go ahead, stuff this guy back in this box. I'll admit, I didn't quite put this thing back the exact same way I took it out, but I got the cover on, so we're good. So I'm going to throw that off to the side. And I am now going to go ahead and grab my box out. So then you go ahead and look at another Gquux kit. And that is going to be the Gquux itself with the Endymion unit Awaken. So I opted to get this version as opposed to standard one for the same reason why I got the Gquux as opposed to Shars. I expect them to eventually make this in a 1:100 scale. So I decided to get the Endymion version, as that most likely wouldn't be done in 1:100 scale, at least not right away. Would of course have to see it done first for me to, you know whether I was right or not. But from what I've seen, only difference between the Endymion unit, besides of course the little rings around it and the head, I guess looking a little different, is the fact that it doesn't come with the Zaku's Heat Hawk, since that was something that the Gquux famously used in the, what was it, the first episode. So it basically just gets rid of that one accessory, and that's really it. And I have a Zaku here, so when I get around to reviewing this thing, I'll even see if it can still hold that Heat Hawk with what I have here. I'm sure it will. But moving on, side shot here, front and rear unpainted look of the Gquux itself. And the same story looks like from the Zaku's. And this one was actually made in 2026, as I believe the show ended early 2026, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I could also confirm, if anyone kept up my last unboxings, I said I didn't finish watching Gquux. I can confirm I did finish watching Gquux. Very short, but overall enjoyable series. And it also explained the whole alternate reality thing to an accepted degree where, I don't know, just kind of delve into the multiverse crap, which is very popular these days. I also want to stop and mention there's a lot of stickers here. Actual stickers, not the decals like the Zaku use. So it's very interesting when they're like inconsistent and stuff. These clear stickers, I'm sure that's going to be for the rings around it. So we'll see a bit more in detail a little bit later on how that's going to work. But a runner with looks like 4 different colors there. Very cool. Some pinks there. Again, looks like that's going to be for those hoops. Another runner here with multiple colors. Bandai is definitely flexing their technology to print multiple colors on one runner. So very cool to see that. Got this very cool looking light green Claire color there for the beam effects. It's awesome there. Not much white on this kit, which again isn't a bad thing. You get stuff like the unicorn, which is all white. It's nice to have it with some color into it. Love that blue. It's kind of like a sky blue. Okay, and this thing does have some sticker style decals, so that's very cool. It looks like it's going to be in the vein of most decals where you don't need it. It's just a little extra pop to it. But actually no, that's not true. This thing actually does canonically have decals. Okay, yes, I didn't really notice that too much in this thing. Yeah, she has like around the arms and stuff, so still very cool. So nice little image of the Gquux itself. Of course, have some information on the pilot itself, and get another increased detailed story. So I always loved how this thing even freaking went into the awakened state. It was the most interesting way to awaken a mobile suit I've ever seen. Literally, the pilot just shot the cockpit and it went Super Saiyan. So I'm like, oh, okay. It damaged the internal systems of the mobile suit, and it just freaks out and takes off all the limiters or whatever. So that was definitely a sight to behold. So this thing appears to have 2 different heads you can make or something. This is an open state and an unopened state. So I wonder if it's going to make you choose or if it's going to have 2 different heads you can switch out. So we'll find out. So this kit is very interesting looking. a lot of the grunts look like Ava's and the Gundam itself, but the Gquux itself just has a very radical design, unlike anything I've ever seen. Well, no, that's not true. I honestly say it looks something more in the vein of Turn A. This thing would definitely fit in very well with Turn A, which is actually very interesting to think of because it makes you wonder if Turn A exists in the same universe as Gquux or something, judging by uh, the design of this thing, or maybe there's some sort of multiversal thing going on. Maybe Turn A and Turn X came from Gquux's universe and then went into the original universe or something like that. So that definitely does make you wonder. And I just love the way the beam, I'm gonna call it a sword because I can't even call that a saber. It just looks like something out of Halo, like one of those beam swords from that. Oh, that's actually a very cool thing. You had a core fighter here. You can use the core fighter. Unfortunately, the Red Gundam, I've already built that thing. At this point, it's just a matter of me reviewing it. But that thing did not have a core fighter, which sucks because like it seems like it'd be so easy for them to do even in high grade. All they have to do really is just add the nose of the fighter, and you know it'd be there. But again, if they ever make a master grade of the white or red Gundam, whatchamacallit, that's definitely something I'd expect them to have. Hell, if they even made a 1 to 100, I'd expect them to have it. But moving on, we now have our last kit here. I don't even know why I bothered bringing the box back out, but I'm going to show off what it is real quick and look at the contents of the box itself. But that is going to be the Gallus J. This came out, oh wow, really recent. I didn't realize the Gallus J was so recent. 2025. This is from Double Zeta. So, with this, of course, coming from the Gundam store, they always have these inserts here. So, shout out to Bruce for packing this up for me. And this, of course, is talking about this sale they have here. This is pretty old. I didn't realize I was holding on to this for so long. Yeah, because this is from the 16th to the 19th. So, I mean, yeah, you could try putting that code if you want. See if it works. I doubt it, but yeah. And I'm guessing it's because these things usually have stickers. So unless it fell between the cracks of the box there, maybe I should offer a different review. Because this box here, I've split up into like 2 or 3 different unboxings so far, just to stretch those out a little bit. The speech is stretching it out. Let's see if we can finish this thing up in about a couple of minutes here, because I'm reaching my 15-minute quota that I usually try to strive for. So one cool thing about this I'd like to note is the Shrimpson Gallus from Unicorn. If you remember that, I believe it's like a purplish bluish color. It was like the boxer. He showed up in like the last episode where he tried to run up the Nahel Argama, trying to beat the crap out of those Jagans. This is what it was based off of. They basically got a Gallus J and stripped it. They kept the knuckle. I forget which one of them is the knuckle. I think it's this one. This thing, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a beam gun and a knuckle all combined. But I thought the Shrimpson Gallus, of course, was very cool. So naturally, the Gallus J is pretty cool on its own right. So, not too many stickers there. I love how big these stickers are too. There's a separate one for the camera. So it looks like if you wanted, you could do one with the mono eye or one without, and you could do the mono eye separate. So I'll probably do one with it. We'll see. So a very interesting color of it's like a purplish bluish color. I believe that little light gray there is for the I can't even call it a beam rifle. It's more like a beam gun. The gun this thing has is very interesting looking, but the Gallus J is a very interesting kit. We got that light green there, the olive green there. It's like olive green. The unboxing here is feeling like these looks like the real gray style beam sabers. So definitely from a modern kit, we use the real gray stuff now as opposed to the classic high grade beam sabers, which admittedly look very small when you look back at them. So just some light grays to finish up on the rest of the stuff here. Then we got the typical Universal Century high grade box art here. So I'm just gonna throw everything back in the box real quick. So I'm gonna shove the menu back in there in a second, and then we can finish things up. So this thing is very tall, standing at 21 meters there. This is, again, the late Universal Century stuff, and that's usually how those things roll. They're all extremely big for no reason at all. It's made out of Gundarium. I haven't gotten around to rewatching Double Zeta yet, and now I'm starting to wonder who the heck is piloting this thing that they've given a Gundarium, because there's no way this is just a grunt suit if it's got a Gundarium there. So you got a one beam saber, the arm punch, like I said, is extending arm. Maybe it's probably this one, because that one looks more like a fist. We'll see. Missile pod, energy gun. Like, this thing's got a lot of crazy weapons onto it, so very awesome. We got the finishing details here to this thing. Usually that's how they did it with the high grade stuff. The last couple pages is in color, whereas a lot of the other modern stuff, at least for high grade, they'll have the first 2 pages or so in color. But those usually have an actual manual, not this map style manual like I call these things. So just like the little other stuff I reviewed in this unboxing, pretty modern setup. This has more of a old school high grade look with it, where it kind of shows that same image. It kind of highlights what you're building. So it's always nice to see how things differentiate. It's also very strange how, like, they do things differently, it feels like, with each and every new series' manual. Yeah, a lot of older stuff to kind of try to keep it the same way it used to be for all these years. So that's kind of cool, kind of weird at the same time, but I mean, it's not bad necessarily, so I'm not going to complain. So I don't know if it mentions who the pilot is. I think I see Mashima here, so I would not be surprised at all to know that this is Mashima's mobile suit, because this guy is kind of like the Char, or rather the Jared of Double Zeta, where this guy has a new mobile suit every episode. To the point it was almost a joke. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say this guy literally had something new every time you see him. It was hilarious. It's like they had to have done it as some sort of joke, and it's hilarious. They didn't even have the budget to do it. And it sucks because he had a lot of cool mobile suits, and you only see him for a single episode and never again. It's like, what the heck? You know, like the Hama Hama, like, that's a super popular mobile suit. 1 episode, I swear. But that's gonna do it for this unboxing. About 3 minutes longer than I wanted this to go, but it is what it is. I take 10 years to unbox stuff, so I just yap too much. But I thank you guys all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, you know what to do. And I'm hoping I'll be able to bang out an unboxing each and every day, just so I can wrap them up, and then I'll close up probably next week at this point. We'll see. With an actual review, maybe I'll just throw something in there just for the heck of it. We'll see. But again, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, unboxing and review. Take care.